With James Rolfe busy with Rocky Month, it'll be a while before he gets back to his video about the top 10 Jackie Chan fight scenes. I've already done a video like this for the Nostalgia Critic's Scariest Movie Moments, so why not give my take here too? This is my list of the 10 best Jackie Chan fight scenes. Again, I don't have any editing software, but I'll link to whatever scenes are on YouTube in my summary. And keep in mind, there are many Jackie films I haven't seen, so don't be too upset if I leave off one of your favorites. Number 10, the wind tunnel fight in Operation Condor. This is kind of a strange pick since there isn't much real fighting in it, but the whole idea behind the scene was so weird and creative I couldn't help but love every second of it. Jackie is fighting two guys in a wind tunnel while his allies are at the controls trying to help him out. Unfortunately, they take a while to get the hang of controlling the tunnel, so all three guys are constantly getting blown around and trying their best to hit each other in the process. The scene was filmed with wires instead of real wind, but there are so many fun bits. The best being when Jackie flies toward his opponents with his fists stretched in front of him and yells "Superman Punch!" Number 9, the ladder fight in First Strike. This is really the one typical Jackie Chan fight scene in the whole film. All the other action scenes are simply him running away from the bad guys, or in the case of the climax, fighting them on stilts and underwater, neither of which is conducive to his fast, creative style. But it's worth seeing the film for, believe me. The whole fight is pretty good, but the best part comes in the last minute when Jackie grabs an 8-foot ladder and spins it around and opens and closes it and jumps through it in various combinations of those actions to whack the other guys good any way he can. That ladder must have weighed a ton, but he handles it like he's been doing it his whole life. Number 8, the climax of Half a Loaf of Kung Fu. This was the birth of a genre, the first martial arts parody film. Jackie took the stodgy traditions of the old chop-socky flicks and just had fun with it, casting himself as the only man in the country who doesn't know how to fight, and learns from a couple smelly beggars. This means he doesn't get to do much real fighting in the film, but it's funny enough that we can keep watching until the climax when the various subplots all crash together in one massive free-for-all battle where Jackie finally gets to show off his moves along with everyone else. My favorite part is when he catches an axe in the crook of his knee and then knees a guy in the chest so the blade will stab him. It does go on a little long, but it's worth a rental at least. Number 7, the last fight with the street gang in Rumble in the Bronx. This was Jackie's first big smash in America after a couple false starts. His style was still a bit restrained, not only from working with Americans, but also because of a foot injury that required a completely new climax where he didn't have to fight anyone. But there is one scene where he really got to let loose, confronting a street gang in their makeshift home and challenging the leader to a fight on a pool table. Afterwards, the whole gang attacks him, and the setting allows for some great prop work, including hitting a guy with a refrigerator door and then the freezer door, and jumping through a shopping cart. The fight has a bit of an anticlimactic ending, but is really fun while it lasts. Number 6, the climax of Armor of God. Another scene that earns points for sheer oddness, but Jackie also gets to do a good bit of real fighting. Jackie takes on a bunch of monks in a monastery, eventually using a giant flaming log against them. But that's just the warm-up to the reveal of 4 Amazon warriors who fight him on a catwalk. There's a bit of fan service here when he gives a double punch right to an Amazon's breast so she has to readjust them, but mostly it's quite a fierce and vicious display in all their parts. Number 5, the playground fight in Police Story 2. Cornered on a playground, what else is Jackie to do but utilize every piece of the equipment to his advantage, including slides, swing sets, jungle gyms, and seesaws. It's really a completely superfluous scene that has nothing to do with the film's story, but I guarantee you'll be having too much fun to care. Number 4, Jackie vs. Benny the Jetter Kiedis in Wheels on Meals. Jackie's fights are always at their best when he's up against someone who can actually match him move for move, and American kickboxing champion Benny Urquidez certainly fits that bill. They're so evenly matched that you're watching both guys equally, a real rarity when Jackie's up against someone from the States. He even jokingly challenged Urquidez to a real fight a few times during filming and said he has no idea who would have won. Number 3, the fight with the bamboo pole in Drunken Master 2. Jackie's famed use of weird props reached its apex in Drunken Master 2, where he's faced by a bunch of opponents with sledgehammers. He counters by using a bunch of bamboo to create MacGyver's worst nightmare, a half-staff, half-sword, half-anything else contraption that slices, dices, and mashes up anything in its path. Clearly, he had more control here than the film's nominal director, whose mind was still stuck in the past. Number 2, the mall fight from Police Story. Police Story is Jackie's own favorite of his action films and features a very intense third act where he's driven over the edge and goes completely berserk on everyone that's done him wrong. It all leads up to a fight in a mall where everyone, even Bridget Lynn as the woman Jackie's been protecting, goes through glass like it's going out of style. The nickname of the film among the stunt team was Glass Story, and Jackie actually used specially made stunt glass that was twice as thick as normal. But as they say, pain is temporary, film is forever, and the whole thing is eye-popping. So what could possibly beat all that? Ladies and gentlemen, I give you number 1, the rooftop fight from Who Am I? Jackie faces off against two hitmen, one who's great with his arms and one who's great with his legs. First they decide to play with him and fight him one at a time, but when they realize how good he is, they take him on together, all next to the edge of a 50-story drop and sometimes right on that edge. 3 incredible martial artists recklessly leaping around just inches from certain death. That is the kind of thing people see Jackie Chan movies for, and it's never been better than this.